Little mic check. Little bit of a mic check. All right. Hi, 22. How are you doing? All right. What's up? What's up, everybody? It is Jenna Say What. How are you guys doing today? Uh, how's everything? How's it going? How was your weekend? Whenever I signed off on Friday, didn't realize it was Friday. Woke up on Saturday, realized that I was late for work, and proceeded to have a little mini panic attack, which was quickly rectified by me gaslighting myself that it definitely wasn't Saturday until I literally asked Google. Apparently, my days are seriously off. But yeah. Anyway, so I was prepared for working on Saturday. Apparently, didn't though. Obviously. But yeah, how's everybody? How's everybody? How's it going? This weekend for me, I did some. Thank you, 22. I was getting some photo shoots done. I want to get 2 done, and I ran out of time because I decided to do a full goth look to go out and try to get some like content shots. Did some great stuff, but yeah, it was definitely took a lot longer to do my makeup than previously expected. I thought I could get it down to like an hour without being on stream, and that wasn't the case whatsoever. So it's fun times, fun times. Let me check the brow situation. I swear to God, nope, it's this one. That one's the one that's off. Let's just fix her a little bit. Me and the fucking Vulcan brows that I can never get right or perfect, and I just keep doing them despite anything. I don't give a shit. As I do have like the perfect Disney villain brow, but I typically like my Vulcan brows because they're a little bit more like off. But anyways, got for those of you that do know, but for those of you who don't know, I have a turtle. He is my first baby. He's amazing. Love him to death. He's been having, I think, some trouble getting up on his docking area so he can like sunbathe. And yeah, so he was sitting up there on like his new platform now, and he just keeps playing on his new platform because I made him a longer ramp and took out some of the big rocks, which he shouldn't have had in there to begin with. Because those can be very dangerous for a turtle because he can like hit his shell and like chip it, break his shell on it. So, yeah, ended up taking those rocks out. Kept one that's like in the back to kind of like keep the platform from like tipping, because he's a bigger turtle now. So yeah, I kind of have realized that I might need to build up on his station now because he's getting to be a very, very beefy boy. So I think we're getting into that territory where I'm going to have to start building turtle tank additions. And I don't think I was prepared for that mentally. But Cleo is getting much bigger and constantly growing that little thing. But yeah, so he loves his new platform, and I keep hearing him like slide into the water and like crawl back up and slide again. And I'm like, oh, I love this. He loves it. So my weekend was pretty solid. I got a shit ton of work done Friday night thinking that it was Thursday night, and I was like getting ahead of the game. Truth be told, I was behind, so love that for me. But it's fine. I got a lot of shit done that I needed to get done, and watched a lot of news, digested a lot of stuff, realized on Saturday I was like, oh shit, like most of the news that I'm gonna be talking about on Monday is gonna be like obsolete at this point, because like that's the news cycle we're on, baby. Ooh, and actually it wasn't too awful. So I'm glad I did all that research on Friday because I really got ahead of the curve. And then I called my mom, who we haven't discussed it officially. I know she voted for him at, like, the last time and the time before that. I'm not sure about this time. Part of me doesn't want to know, because whenever I tell her, like, things, I like gauging her reaction and kind of playing as a guessing game, because if she is a supporter, it's because she is, you know, she doesn't know, because she, like, I was like, Ma, have you heard about the Epstein files yet? She hasn't heard a thing. So me, knowing everything, I want you guys to know that if my life was recorded and there was a camera, I would deadpan look, and I would break the fourth wall and be like, oh, she's in for it. She has no idea. And I'm glad that I went ahead and, like, recorded this audio of from American Dad Roger, whenever there's, like, a Francine wins, like, or gets 2 free steaks because she slipped and fell at the grocery store. I know this episode like the back of my hand, and it's one of my favorite quotes that I use that no one knows where it comes from. But Roger is like, I'm gonna get this wine for the steak. And she's like, okay. And he's like, that stupid bitch. She has no idea. Basically, it's like this grandiose wine, and she's never had it. And she's just like, oh, okay, cool, no big deal. And he's like, oh, she's in for it. That stupid bitch. Like, and so I already did that audio clip. And so I was like, yo, I'm going to use this and be like, when your mom doesn't know a thing about the Epstein files and you're super versed in it. And I'm just like, oh God, I was so excited to tell her everything. The reactions that she had were just like over the top. Like, she was like, oh my God, like, what are you talking about? This, like, because I was like, it's not like, you know, like our pedophile in chief. And she was like, who's a pedophile? And I was like, Ma. Oh. And so, like, I went on a tangent. Like, I had my notes. Like, I still have my show notes. I haven't really thrown them out. I've thrown the original, like, first few out, which I kind of regret. But, like, I pulled out my fucking show notes and was like, and just, like, ranted. I ranted at her for, like, an hour. I think I went on for 45 minutes about everything. And then I just continued on. And my poor mother, I think, had no idea what she was prepared, like, what she should have prepared for getting into that phone conversation. And I'm like, and the way I ended it is I just sat there on the phone after I rattled off all this, like, historic data and, like, all of this stuff. And I just sat there and I go, hey, Mom. She goes, yeah. And I go, imagine if I was this good at history when I was in high school. And we both started fucking cackling, because the only reason, and I'm telling you right now, the only reason that I passed that class was because my teacher liked me and probably felt sorry for me. Because I'm going to tell you right now, every single paper that I got back from my history and my government class, by the way, same teacher, both of those classes, I never once got a paper that wasn't at least a D or an F. So, like, I don't know how I barely passed that class. So I think that he, like, fucked up the numbers and was like, no, she's not gonna learn this. And she is annoying. Like, he's probably like, get her the fuck out. So yeah, like, her and I had a good laugh about that, because it's so true. But yeah, she had no fucking clue. She had no idea, like, zero clue about what was going on. And, like, it's crazy to me. And I'm just like, oh man, Mom, like, you are not, it's not even that she's misinformed. She's just not informed from the jump. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Wait a second. Why is that trying to cast? Craziness. What you up to? Hi, how are you doing? But yeah, such a crazy conversation with my mom, and yeah, had a blast with her on the phone talking about, all that stuff. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. So yeah, we kind of like at least inform my mom. So that's great. I appreciate that. I got her slightly more informed than what she was. Uh, she might never answer the phone with me because I'm stressing her out. I don't know. Thank you. Um, so yeah, there's been a lot of like stuff in the news cycle right now that I'm just like absolutely reeling over. Speaking of my mom, I'm an Illinois native. Uh, and we got a lot of Illinois news coming out there because JB Pritchard, he is harboring now he's harboring fugitives, which I think is amazing. I feel like so basically what's happening is with the Texas redistricting of every like they're already gerrymandered map. Um, Now they left state so they can break quorum, which means that they can't like the House and they can't pass this gerrymandered map because all of these Democrats just left the state, like literally all of them. And from what I gather is that um the Illinois governor, JB Pritchard, is like, or he's the mayor of Chicago. Fuck. I think he's the governor. Yeah, he is the governor, and he is like he brought them to Illinois and was like, no, we're not playing these games, and I love that. I love the fact that we're using the same kind of tactics that they do because those motherfuckers run and hide. Like whenever Texas, like what is it? Greg Abbott's left the state whenever shit's hit the fan. Um, all these Republican senators have been out like vacationing while their people are dying in the streets from a natural disaster or something like that, and it's so disgusting that that's how they see their constituents. They're like, oh well, I'm still gonna vacation in fucking Disney World, like goddamn what's his face. So it's like now the roles are reversing and they're like, well, bye, see ya, can't do shit without us there. And so now they have a warrant out for their arrest. Originally, Greg Abbott was threatening that, and a lot of people think that it's all of this is more for show than anything. But truth be told, like North Carolina should have done that shit whenever that map got fucking gerrymandered to hell. So, I'm glad that the Texas lawmakers are doing this because they are a majority minority state, and that means that these people aren't going to get any kind of representation. It's going to be all Republican. It's disgusting. It is absolutely abhorrent, and it suppresses those voices. It's voter suppression, plain and simple. And I don't agree with it, but whenever we have to like do, whenever we have to fight dirty, I guess like we're going to have to fucking fight dirty, you know what I mean? Like they didn't really give us a choice. But yeah, he's basically the way that Greg Abbott is saying is that he will start the removal process, but they haven't said anything about that yet. So far, it's just been that they have a warrant out for their arrest now. But if they do the removal process, that destroys 30 elected Democrats out of, it just like completely gets rid of them. That also means that those people that voted for those representatives, for those people to represent them and their wants and their needs, are going to be stripped of that. That's crazy shit, dudes. Like, that's going nuts. Did you watch the Demon Slayer movie? No, I didn't. I need to, though. I definitely need to. Because, like, isn't it live action? Is it a live action? I don't know. But if it is a live action, I'll definitely watch it. Because I'm more apt to watch anime stuff if it's live action, apparently. Like, I don't know. Because that was me with One Piece. I seem to jump on board with One Piece. And watch that. But, you know, I'd say I watch some anime. Not enough, though. Not enough to be considered that, like, I like anime. In my opinion. So, but I'm always down to give it a try. I just haven't seen Demon Slayer at all. Not yet. I'll probably be convinced to. Just haven't yet. Because I like a lot of the characters. And I cosplay one of the characters. So I'm like, I probably should at least try it like I did with Chainsaw Man before going, wait a second, what happens to Pachita? Like, episode 2? I think episode 2 I tapped out. Because I was like, wait a second, what happens to Rezi? I was like, son of a bitch. Like, 2 of the characters that I cosplay, and I'm already in love with them, like, I can't. That you're already gonna kill me. You're breaking my fucking heart, anime. I didn't know that anime was so destructive towards their characters. I had no idea. I was used to watching, like, cartoons like X-Men and, you know, things that don't end poorly for almost every single character, sometimes all of the characters. You know, I wasn't prepared for that. And then I went into it and was like, oh god, this is horrifying. I get emotionally attached and now you're taking away these characters? Yeah. Yeah. But at least I know before going into it. Most of the time I find out if the character dies or not, and then I'm like, son of a bitch. And I kind of go from there if I'm going to actually watch it all the way through or not, but it's so bad. Anime for me is it's such a weird, like, the way I get into it, or if just everything with me and anime is just weird. I don't know. But yeah, so our gerrymandered, you know, maps are gonna be quite ridiculous. Hopefully, especially with like Texas, and the fact that they're threatening to arrest, you know, sitting representatives, that the reason that they are not wanting to be there is because of the fact that this map is going to literally silence so many people. So it's just, this is so bad, and it is such a reflection on how badly they are willing to fight dirty just to make them win. It's so sad. It's so sad. If you have to push that hard to win, the public doesn't want you, bro. You know what I mean? That's like a girlfriend doing everything that she can to keep this, like, this relationship. I feel this because I'm more speaking from experience on this one, but you know, changing yourself so much to try to be the thing that you know, try to force that relationship as much as you can, and nothing is working, so you change everything just to, like, change the you know, the goalpost. Like, that's how it feels to me. Is like such a, it's such a sad thing to watch Republicans just cheat to make this work for them, because no one wants them. It's like, bros, no one wants you. Go away. Go the fuck away. Nobody wants you here. Like, get out. Get the fuck out. So yeah, it's crazy. And then, it seems that, any city and state, boycotting Israel now is going to have FEMA funds withheld. Like, in a time where Netanyahu just came out saying that he wants to completely occupy Gaza, and this is ethnic cleansing at that point. Like, I mean, it already is, but, like, this is, like, it's so blatant. It's obvious. if he literally eradicates them from that, that's whether or not that's unaliving or moving, whatever the case may be, the fact that he's wanting to occupy Gaza entirely, that's, I mean, that they were saying is not only ethnic cleansing, but it violates the international laws of war. I wanted to make sure I said that right. But it violates the international laws of war. So what the fuck are we doing? Like, I mean, growing up, I always thought that, like, you know, these world organizations that were supposed to show that, like, you know, these are the rules of war, and, like, if you do, you know, violate those, you'll be punished. But I've never once seen punishment actually happen. So, like, my question is, like, what's the point of having these groups that, like, but they can't arrest Netanyahu if he's in his country. And then if they try to arrest him here, Trump is going to lose his shit. Like, I don't understand how if you're violating, like, laws of war and stuff, like, I always as a kid thought that, like, that was, like, the world police. Like, they would just come in and off to jail you'd be toted, and, you know, they have to, you know, do, I don't know, like, so it's so mind-boggling to me that, like, this man is still out here doing this wild, innate shit to these people that, like, at this point, he's like, oh, we're still trying to catch Hamas. And I'm like, bro, I think that this is the boogeyman for you. Like, I think that that's the monster under his bed. I think that that's the monster under his bed at this point. Because, like, I see no fucking signs of that shit. Like, whenever, like, Gazans are, you know, or Palestinians are being, like, wrangled through, like, basically cattle pens to get food, and then you have, like, Americans, I know for a fact the Americans were shooting at them and hitting them. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, these people are literally starving to death. Like, seeing the photos of the kids is just fucking, like, it's beyond. It's evil. Like, these people are evil. And then, you know, threatening to, you know, it's just crazy. Like, the world has gone absolutely cuckoo bananas. But call your reps. Call your local reps. Because everything's going to start local and state level. So, sorry, I'm still, like, coughing from, like, con crud. I swear to God, it's never going to go away. However, like, it is nice that, you know, I'm starting to see other people break away from, the Trump's, you know, regime. And, like, I also am seeing a lot of people start to question, what he's doing and, like, how he's doing it. And, you know, how badly everything is, how bad things are going, how bad things seem to be going. And I, like, people at the WWE, they were playing him, and, or he was there or something, but they were, you know, had pictures of him up, and people were booing. There were some claps, but there wasn't, like, thank you so much, Kenneth, for the sub. I appreciate you. Let's get some dubs in the chat for Kenneth. Thank you. Yeah, he, like, got booed for the most part, and I was like, the world is healing. The world is healing. And I love it. I love to see it. Dropkick Murphys have been on their shit, not allowing it to, like, go through. Because, like, the Dropkick Murphys, like, dedicated a song to him and had, like, all the Epstein shit up there and, like, all, like, everything. And I was like, brava. Hell yeah. Like, I'm seeing a lot of, like, artists push and be like, no, fuck you. I mean, South Park, they're doing a great job. Bravo to them. I don't have Paramount, I'm not going to subscribe to it. So I'm going to have to figure out a different way to watch it. Because I do want to see, I do really, really want to see the South Park episode. And, or the South Park episodes, because they're going to be going at them the all season. And good for them. Good for them for doing that. And yeah, I love to see it because historically speaking, art was always something that, you know, pushed back against society and you know, it was always, you know, art can be very political. It can be very apolitical as well, but it can be very political. And a lot of amazing art and a lot of pieces that are known, you know, throughout history are all symbols of protests or symbols of, you know, the oppression that, you know, the 99% have to go through. So it's good to see that this is still the thing. It makes me really happy, and it makes me feel like there is a light at the end of the tunnel, because we're seeing a lot of people speak out, and we're seeing a lot of artists, not Sydney Sweeney, that stupid bitch, but like we're seeing a lot of artists start to speak out and say like, no, enough is enough. This is too much. We're finally seeing Democrats get some fucking backbones up in this piece. It's great. Like, oh, and going back, the Sydney Sweeney thing, the whole ad was actually supposed to say Gene. So Sydney Sweeney has great genes. And Trump applauded it. He was like, I love this ad. Goodbye, wokeism. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? That's not wokeism, motherfucker. That's literally white supremacy, Nazi bullshit. That's absolutely white nationalism. Fuck that. Absolutely not. Like, and then someone did looked into it and found out that Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican in the state of Florida. So it's like, oh, there it is. So everybody's making fun of her, saying that she's the female version of Chris Pratt, and I was like, facts. Chris Pratt can go suck a dick. I'm so pissed about that. That was such a disappointing thing. Because, like, I love Star-Lord and Gamora. I mean, like, I cosplay Gamora, so, like, it makes me really fucking heated that he came out and, like, had voted for Trump and was all for this. And I'm just like, you're disgusting, dude. You have no idea. You sit atop your ivory tower with all your money, and you have no fucking clue, dude. No clue. So it's gonna be a wild ride for sure. But I'm really glad to see a lot of artists starting to speak out. And oh my god, I want to say it's the Paramore singer. But there's another artist that came out with, like, a song about, like, the South will not rise again, or, like, until they paid for all their sins, and I'm like, oh! Like, oh, this is getting good. Like, let's go. Let's go. Let's see this artistry. Let's fucking get it. I love it. Historically, that's what happens during these times. As artistry starts rising, we start seeing people make these, you know, comments about, you know, the politics that are going on in that time period, but they're using their art to do so, and I'm just like, fuck yeah. Hey, Takast, how are you doing? How's things over across the pond? Help us. Oh my god. But yeah, so I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, artistry. Yeah, I'm really stoked to see like a lot of artistry grow, and I'm hoping that we see more like local plays and local things that we can do together that will, help us kind of through all of this um, craziness. Um, we do have with all the voter suppression and everything, the Supreme Court is going to be considering a case that could end race-based districts and gut the Voting Rights Act. So basically, it will. So like how Texas is a majority minority state and how they're gerrymandering it to be Republican. Typically, my turtle, I can hear my turtle going up his slide to like slide back down, and I'm just like thrilled that he loves it. I'm like beyond thrilled. I digress. So for Texas's redistricting, most of the time minorities will vote Democratic, and their voting has proven that in Texas. And so the reality of the situation is that they should be redistricting it properly, where everybody gets a fair shot as at representation. The problem is that and again, that's majority minority state, so like making sure the black population has their representation, things like that. So like that's what it boils down to, is making sure that everybody has representation based off of their needs, and most of the time that separates off into minorities, because you have different white people need less than whatever, but like it's getting tongue-tied, I don't know, but basically they're trying to end that, which is incredibly horrible, especially for states like Texas, which they're already dealing with that extreme gerrymander map. But yeah, we need to have those race-based districts so those people have representation, so you don't have a majority black population lumped in with a smaller like Republican group, but that Republican group has more voters or whatever, and now this black population has zero representation, like zero, because the Republicans aren't gonna I'm gonna say it, they don't really give a shit about anybody else but the white population. So now they have no representation. It's another form of voter suppression, and it just really fucking sucks to see, because these, like, everybody needs that representation, but especially minority voices. They're already suppressed enough. They don't get enough help. Especially, like, look at fucking Katrina whenever that shit happened. Like, they didn't get the help that they needed from FEMA or from anything. They were like, it's crazy. It's just horrible. They need that representation, plain and simple. But this could totally alter the way that congressional maps are drawn in America. And unfortunately, we won't know about this until probably next year. Right now they're looking at it, but according to news sources, is that it's going to be until next June they'll decide on it. So I don't like I don't have any. I have zero confidence in the Supreme Court doing anything correct or proper or unbiased at this point. I just don't see it. I really wish I could, but I just don't see it. And what I'm hoping is that a lot of the issues that are happening right now, especially with Texas and all the Democrats being like, bye, and breaking quorum, I am hoping that this starts a chain reaction with other Democrats to, get that strength, and then maybe help some of the Republicans stand up and say, no, I'm absolutely against this, but I was scared to say anything because of Donald Trump and his threats. Because he's been threatening people. It's on record that he's been, threatening people. Find me extra votes. Find me extra seats. He's so desperate to win that he's, this is destroying the Republican Party. I don't know if they're going to ever, recover from this after all this. No one has any respect for them because they are literally, bowing down to Trump. Whenever I was telling my mom on the phone that the reason that Republicans initially didn't vote for the big, beautiful bill, the 7 that didn't, I was like, it was for signed merch. And she was like, she had no response. And I was like, do you know what I mean by that? And she's like, no, I don't understand what you mean. I was like, signed merchandise from Trump himself. She was like, wait, hold on, what are you saying? And I was like, 7 Republicans held out signing the big, beautiful bill, not because they didn't like the Medicare cuts and the Medicaid cuts and the SNAP benefit cuts and the taxes to the rich, or the tax breaks to the rich and the extra taxes on the poor people. She was like, so instead of asking for that, they asked for what? And I was like, they asked for signed merch from Trump. And she was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And I was like, no, I wish I was lying to you. I really truthfully do. And she was like, I sat there with her for a second. I was like, it really sucks to know that you were worth so little to them, right? And she was like, yeah, why would they do that? And I was like, exactly. And a lot of the shit that my mom has no idea about most of this stuff that's happening. She's not keeping up with it at all. And I'm like, I wonder how many people in our families vote for him not because they know anything about him, but just because they just know who he is. So they go with him. I wonder. Because, the shit that I was telling my mom, she was appalled. So I was like, I think that a lot of people are just, non-informed, at all. They just don't even have news at all in their life, really. Which is really bad, actually. You have to at least be a little bit informed. I mean, we're getting rights stripped left and right. I feel like it's super important for that. And especially with, the way that our prices are soaring and everything. You need to know why they're soaring. My mom, I was like, hey, the first thing I asked my mom whenever I got her on the phone was, I was like, hey, Ma, how was your shopping trip today? She's like, oh, my God. It was $280 and it's just for me. And I'm like, for one, what the fuck are you buying, woman? I was like, bro, I try to spend the least amount as I can. I do I'll get beans or whatever and I'll cook them myself. I get the dried beans and I'll just do everything myself. And I was just like, girl, what the fuck are you buying? But not to shame her, grocery shame her. But I was just like, oh my God. And she's like, I've never seen prices like this. And I'm like, yeah, you know why? And she's like, no. And I was like, it's because of the tariffs. And I had to explain that. And so I feel like there's probably a lot of people out there that have no idea about any of this stuff. And it's surprising to them. And it's one of those things where they didn't realize that this was happening. And I feel like if they knew, I feel like if my mom was more informed, which I'm kind of questioning, I might ask her and be like, yo, am I going to annoy the shit out of you if I just keep you informed? I just really feel like you need to know this stuff. Especially with her getting up in age, especially with cancer research being stripped and things like that. My grandmother had cancer. Yeah, Vinny, dude, I want to know too. I was like, no, I don't think that she's shopping at a market. She's in Southern Illinois. They are not fancy. So, like, she's shopping at Kroger or, and Walmart are her two that she normally goes to. And I think that those are the only two. If I remember correctly, because my mom's a little OCD about stuff, so she's normally like, she'll go to Walmart and get like her, you know, like cleaning supplies and like stuff that's not like perishable, and she'll go to Kroger, I think, for her perishables, I think. But yeah, she's not shopping at any like fancy place, that's for sure. They don't have that in Southern Illinois. The fanciest place that you can get is like you get you know, deer meat out of your friend's basement, like, you know, that's classy for us, you know. That's classy shit right there. Or knowing a butcher, that's also classy in Southern Illinois. Oh God, I grew up so white trash. But we did have great food though, for the most part. But yeah, like my mom had no idea, and she went to the grocery store and like had this like, yeah, he did say that he was gonna, thank you, Vinny, you are absolutely correct. He did say that he was gonna drop grocery prices on day one, and it seems to me that we are up on opposite here. You know how you have opposite day and you're like, I'm not gonna touch this desk, and you're touching the desk, you know? It's opposite day, but it's opposite presidency, I guess. Which would make sense because that's a child game, and I feel that we are dealing with a child. So that's why he put nuclear submarines right outside of Russia, because Russia talks shit about him. If World War III, I swear to God, guys, mark my words, if World War III gets started because Trump got like tweeted about by a Russian and talked shit about, I swear to God, I'm gonna scream. I'm going to drive up to the mountains and I will record me screaming until my fucking throat gives out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna be like, are you fucking kidding me? Because someone in Russia talked smack about Trump. I almost call him Putin. Talked smack about Trump, and now we're in World War III? Are you fucking kidding me? I'd be so fucking mad. But, you know what? Kind of on brand, because fucking the Republicans voted for the big beautiful bill, and the few that held out were because they wanted to get signed merch. So I mean, we're living in, if this is the Matrix, dude, someone needs to do a unexpected reboot on this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, one of these programs ain't running right, babes. Restart. Unexpected reboot. Hello, how are you doing? Unexpected reboot. Go IT crowd up in this bitch. Restart. Call Moss. Have him fix it. Have Roy fix it. I don't care which one of the two. Just fix it. Like, goddamn, dude. Restart. Yeah, so nuts. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, children do have better reasoning than our president. You're absolutely 100% right. He also is firing the commissioner of labor statistics because the jobs numbers were bad. Those are your job numbers, bitch. Of course they're bad. He has the second lowest presidential approval rating next to himself. His first term has a second term beat, but not by much, guys. But yeah, so here he is. Shitty ass numbers, and he's firing the commissioner of labor statistics because of the job numbers were bad. Has anyone tried turning the U.S. off and on again? Please, someone Restart this shit. Because it's too much. It's too much. But yeah, he said in a Truth Social post, in my opinion, today's job numbers were rigged in order to make the Republicans and me look bad, just like when they had 3 great days around the 2024 presidential election, and then those numbers were taken away after the election. What the fuck? So there's no evidence to suggest that these numbers are rigged. And this is incredibly dangerous because now we can't trust any of the numbers coming out of the White House, because what's to say that like they aren't changing those numbers because they're afraid of losing their jobs. Which I think personally, I would love to see them go through like a fucking every week someone gets fired because they gave the correct number. Like, I'd love to see that shit. I hope that they play that off and they're like, fuck this job. Like, and just constantly like put out the real numbers. Oh man, we got a lot going on today. We always do. It's America. We always have a lot of bullshit going on. But yeah, so now we can't even trust these numbers that are going to start coming out because, like, who's to say at this point? But what a whiny little bitch boy. What a whiny little bitch boy. The numbers are bad. Those are your numbers, bitch. Eat it. Little Trumpy boy, eat it. Eat those numbers. Who did those numbers? You did. You did. You're first and second for worst president on approval ratings, bud. Enjoy your stay. You know, like, enjoy this. Enjoy this victory that you have of your shitty unemployment numbers and shitty job growth numbers, because that's you, babes. That's all you. And then on top of that, not like doing anything about AI either. No regulations. They're looking at thousands of jobs. Sorry, not millions. Thousands of jobs being gone by 2027. Like hundreds of thousands of jobs or some shit like that. I can't remember my actual number. So, like, we're already in trouble, bro. We're already in trouble about, like, how many jobs we're going to lose to AI. So, you know, and we have no repercussions for that. None. So we're going to be sitting here losing jobs left and right while none of these can be, added. Because all these CEOs just want to continuously just rake in the dough. There's only so much money on this planet, you idiots. Like, it doesn't just... It disappears from the lower half of the people and starves us out. So it's like, bro, don't even, like, come on. I'm still looking for that number. I don't even know where it's at this point. Yeah, I need to, like, have that up and around me at all times, because, like, I reference it so often. I also just need to have, like, that number actually in my head. But yeah. George Jetson only worked like 6 hours a week because back then people thought workers were actually going to benefit from automation. Oh, Vinny, I didn't realize that. I haven't seen the Jetsons in so long. Like, so man, I didn't know that. Oof. God. Oh no, that's so sad. Oof. Ouch. I can't, dudes. That's crazy shit. So, like, it really does worry me that that's going to end up becoming a whole ass thing, is like having these numbers come out from our government, and we're not going to be able to trust that. We're not. And then on top of that, even worse, like, we can't really trust we can trust the weathermen up into a certain point, but even they have said, like, weather announcers have been like, hey, like, at some point we will not know any, like, what's going to happen because, like, we've gutted, you know, the weather associations and stuff. Only works 6 hours. Yeah. Hey, you leave her be. I don't even know, but no women hate up in here. No women hate. Bad. No. No. If he wants that, let him have that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know their relationship. Come on. That's not a relationship that you want. See, there's a difference. He wants that relationship. That's fine. Let him pop off, King. Let him pop off. Let him have that relationship. Don't yuck someone else's yum. You don't have to have a girlfriend like Jane Jetson. You know what I mean? Like, see? Don't have to yuck other people's young, man. So yeah, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I heard my turtle again. Is to pay blindly when taking advantage? Yeah, he's a fucking king. Let him. If I could do that shit, dude, I'd do that fucking shit in a heartbeat. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck. Are you kidding me? I would in a heartbeat without hesitation. You would too. Shut the fuck up. You would too. If you got to be a kept housewife, you know what I mean? You would do it too. Come on. Not have to work, bitch. Don't even. You know you would too. You know you would too. You'd be able to do free time shit. You'd be able to have your side quests. Pfft. Come on, bro. You would do it too. He's a fucking king. Let him have it. Dude, fucking, I'm in. Pfft. Fuck, I'm in, dude. Dude, come on. You would too. Can't convince me otherwise. You would too. But yeah. It's crazy. Like, anyways, getting back to it. Yeah, so we're having issues with, like, weather, and, like, not every, like, weather stuff is no longer, like, as accurate anymore because it's all been gutted. Woo! We're basically gonna be, like, we can't, it's so bad. Like, what is it? The right was always like, you can't trust the government, you can't trust anything. And now they've turned us actually into a whole ass conspiracy theory, because now we're like, we literally can't because everything's been gutted. Everything's been gutted. You kidding me? Like, craziness. And like the girl that was for the that was the commissioner of labor statistics, whenever she was confirmed, she had 86 votes for yes, which is apparently unfucking heard of. Like, that's unheard of. For a confirmation of 86 votes and no, like, 8 no's, apparently that's, like, crazy numbers. So, like, that's nuts. And on top of that, JD Vance voted for her to confirm her. So I'm like, yeah, this is literally Trump just throwing a baby temper tantrum. And I'm like, yep. Yeah, JD Vance confirmed her, yeah. I was just like, bro, man, I can't. Like, this is so obvious that Trump is throwing a temper tantrum. And this doesn't show strength of a country. This doesn't show strength at all. This is quite the opposite. This is sad. Any country that's not laughing at us, no, every country is laughing at us, because I was like, Netanyahu acts like he buddies up to Trump, and he's not. He'll throw him out, like, Trump out to the woods and wolves in a heartbeat. Mama, like, that's crazy shit. Like, girl, he has no idea what he's fucking doing. Like, he is way beyond. He's so, like, that man, the way he throws temper tantrums is nuts. It's nuts. Nuts. I'll look at it, but I don't even know. It's feeds any, like, straight up, if that's actually true, yeah, well, it's unethical and disgusting, and I would feed the people that wanted to do that to them instead, because, you know, much easier that way, and much more food. So, people are bigger than a house cat. Yep, bigger than a house cat, for sure. So, maybe they should throw Trump to him. Or J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance. Side dish. Side dish. But yeah, no. That's pretty fucked. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Again, might I suggest that they throw J.D. Vance and Trump to the wolves instead? Throw them to them. Bigger. Blubberier. Probably tastier. I don't know. Never had people. I feel like my dad has told me stories where I've questioned if he's had people. Weird conversation, but absolutely, I sometimes question that, because he's had too many, like, stories, and I'm like, what's going on, Dad? He's like, oh, nothing. But anyways, totally. Oh, yeah, no, I agree with that. I feel you. I feel you. But then again, like, you can't trust our American jail systems to be able to convict the right people. Not here, babies. Nope. Not here. Because God knows that we send innocent black men to jail a lot. It's crazy. Like, our jail system is literally for profit and, like, just inhumane. Then on top of that, it doesn't rehab anybody. I'm all for rehabilitation and trying to get people healed and trying to get people better. Like, a lot of people that you know, typically are users or whatever of drugs, it's typically because they're trying to self-medicate for X, Y, and Z. You start getting to those roots of the problem, like either, you know, psychiatrist kind of stuff, or even like pain management and proper pain management, not throwing opioids at old people like I've seen hospitals and shit do like nobody's business. Like, whenever my dad passed, I knew that it was the end for him, because they were like, well, his pain seems a little bit unmanaged. And I was like, I would like for you guys, I was like, do you really feel that it is necessary for you to give him more pain meds to someone that's already barely stable as a human being? And they were like, yeah, it's fine. And I was like, I wasn't there to be able to, like, judge. And within, like, a day of them upping his pain meds, he passed. And I was like, that's what I fucking thought. The way our system, like, throws pain meds at old people, it's crazy. Like, a lot of the people that get, like, the on methadone are older people. It's because they, like, doctors will throw pain meds at your face like nobody's business. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. So, like, a lot of shit like that all boils down to, like, we don't have the resources, or the, you know, people don't have the ability to pay for, you know, medications, whether that be, like, antidepressants, anxiety, blah, 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 like, pain meds, getting just even, like, a simple, you know, issue fixed. Like, it's just wild to me. It's wild. Yeah, you can't even talk about how horrific a system is. Your system looks like the bastion of justice. Dude, I know. I don't know. So I can't, you know what, I say no. The thing is I don't know a goddamn thing about UK and their justice system or anything other than the fact that they wear wigs, and I think that that's really cool. Like, that's the stupidest thing. But like, I just know that they wear wigs, and it just like it kind of makes me giggle a little bit, and I'm glad that I'm not in the UK because I don't know if I could ever take that shit seriously because I'd be like, hey, I like your hair. Be like, shh. And be like, but yeah, I don't know a goddamn thing about how they do their justice system or anything. I'm like barely understanding. But yeah, I don't know a goddamn thing about how they do their justice system, American justice system, and we're like pretty bad, but um yeah, it's absolutely wild. Oh no, did my stream get fucking weird? Did my stream get weird? Uh, get sent to jail for 2 years for a tweet. Oh God, that's horrible. Uh, I think the stream might have died. Did it die? Oh no. Okay, I think that it was just like, I think she was cranky. I think it's back though. I think we're good. But yeah, that's crazy. 2 years for a tweet? That's nuts. Um, Rockefeller moved into pharmaceuticals after he got pushed out of his oil monopoly, and he pushed medical schools to push pills instead of natural treatments. Yup. Absolutely, Shane. Yeah. I was really lucky that the last doctor's office that I actually worked in doing phlebotomy, that doctor, she always tried to look at more like holistic and more natural things before she would prescribe you antibiotics, unless of course you absolutely need those antibiotics, in which case she would not like question that. But she was she's a great doctor, and she really was against like the pushing the opioids and trying to get like especially your older patients and on these crazy medications that they don't need, that it's just causing more problems than it's helping. So a lot of our pharmaceuticals has always been, push the pills and like try to, make that money. And, instead of getting the generic, get the the name brand prescription. There's so many things in the medical community that's like it's crazy. It's crazy. That's what we get for privatized, doing everything privatized and for profit and things like that, because we're seeing people being turned away for illnesses, and just because you're poor doesn't mean that you don't deserve to have your medical needs met. It's not people that think that you're not working hard enough. The thing is like people out here are working hard. We have people that are homeless that are working. Literally. We have people out here that are working jobs trying to survive, and they don't even have a home. They're unhoused. So it's like it's so cooked. Yeah. Some things can be, yeah, some things can definitely be addressed with like your dietary things. Other things can't, but yeah, I mean, there's always an asterisk on those types of things. But yeah, I think, I know for me, diet has changed a lot of things for the good. I'm still waiting for this goddamn fish oil to like make my joints not fucking hurt anymore. But I can tell that there's a difference. Like my elbow that I've been complaining about for like the past like forever, doesn't like, it's not as weak anymore. It feels a lot better. My ankle on my right side is being problematic, but, you know, that's because I've tried to rip my ankle off by just taking my foot and trying to bend it this way to break it off, I guess, by wearing large platforms and falling off of them. So yeah. But yeah, for me, a lot of stuff stemmed from diet and whatnot. U.S. healthcare system seems rather extreme, but in NHS, the U.S. health cost is beyond extreme. If I want to go to my doctor to just get my yearly physical, it is $150 deductible just to go. That's not including anything. That's not including blood work. That's not including, like, pap smear. That's not including anything. That's just me getting in the door. It's abhorrent. And I have insurance, by the way. I pay monthly for insurance. How quickly can you get an appointment? Not quick. Not quick. And then on top of that, think about the fact that you have to wait if you can't pay for that. And then on top of that, don't forget that you have to take time off work. Can't take time off work. So the last time I had a physical was like, about 4 years ago. Because I can't take time off. The small amount of time off that I get, it's either, whatever. Like, I could easily be like, okay, I'm just not going to go to Dragon Con, but also, like, then I lose. That's the whole thing. But, like, I've decided that I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to put it off again, and put it off again, and put it off again. Taking hours. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but the thing is a lot of people can't afford to go to the doctor. A lot of people can't afford to take that time off work if they even are able to get work. The amount of middle managers just wasting money is stealing. Yeah, I would say more CEOs are stealing from their own fucking companies. What the fuck do you need that goddamn yacht for, Bezos? You little shit. Balding little bitch. But yeah, no, for real, like, the CEOs, I think, are more the problem than anybody in the middle. Period. Like, the CEOs are the ones that are issues. If those CEOs chose to make a normal amount of money and run the company and give that money back into the company, whether or not that's paying their lower tier workers and giving them a bonus at Christmas time. That used to be a thing. We would get bonuses at Christmas time for like a year of work and be like, congratulations, like, thank you so much for being with the company. That used to be a thing. That's no longer a thing. Instead, we have to step over the bodies of our coworkers because they died on shift. You know what I mean? So, like, never got Brexit. I call breakfast Brexit. Yeah, the U.S. system, if any, is 100% right. The U.S. System, private insurance, spends more money trying to deny claims. They spend more money hiring people to take the phone calls to deny those claims than they do anything else. Because, like, all of those, and then on top of that, it's the constant back and forth between the doctors and the non-doctors, the random fucking person off the street that's saying, oh, we can't give you this, we can't allow you to have this cancer treatment even though you have stage 3 cancer. Like, that's how it is here. The billionaire space, yeah. Shane, dude, you're so fucking right. It's either going to be the billionaires or AI. And what I'm hoping is that AI takes out the billionaires. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. Is that they're going to make this AI stuff into a whole ass thing. And then it's going to eat them alive. And I'm going to be like, yeah! this. Like, I swear to God, I will make t-shirts. I will lose my fucking mind. I'm gonna be so thrilled that that's how the billionaires get taken out, is by AI, after they refuse to regulate that shit, and it takes out them because they're the ones with all the money and power. And I'll be like, yes! Eat the rich! Eat the rich! Like, straight up. Like, losing my fucking mind. Just even the thought of it has cheered me up so much. Like, oh my God. Would be a reward for loyalty, but in yeah, exactly, yeah. So and that's the thing, is like, they just replace us, or what they do is they fuck you over so much that you end up quitting, and then whoever is like your coworker, that person gets all that work on top of them too. Like, it's so they don't even have to like hire another person, and then that person's never gonna get that Christmas bonus either. So like, it's crazy. What the fuck are you gonna do with that much money? Like, for real. You will never, like, the amount of money that CEOs have, they will never spend that money down. And a lot of them, their kids won't even be able to spend that down. So it's like, what's the point? Like, at that point, like, why don't you just be a good person? Like, I don't know. Build a library. Build a hospital in rural communities. Do things that do good, instead of be a shithead on a gigantic ass yacht having a fucking foam party, a little shit bag. Bezos. Limiting immigration for a period of time to reduce the labor for it. Not here in America. No, fuck no. Oh God, no. We need our immigration system is fucked from the base. We need a better, sustainable way of allowing people into the United States. The thing is that we have a lot of, laborers that are doing jobs that most Americans, and especially whenever I say that, I mean Americans, don't want to do and won't do, come hell or high water. You know what I mean? Like, so our system it needs people that are willing to do the jobs that we're not willing to. So that's why we're seeing, like, food hikes in prices and food shortages and things like that, is because we don't have, like, undocumented immigrants. Like, they're being swept up in these ICE raids. It's not helping us. We need a better pathway to citizenship for the people that are here. That way that those people are able to not be taken advantage of anymore by a system that is paying them minuscule amounts of money for what they're doing. It's not, like, we're so bad on immigration and everything like that it's just like, whatever. Hey Lauren, how you doing? I'll see you in a little bit, mama, because I'll be at karaoke tonight. Thank you so much for the raid, Lauren. Thank you, everybody. Welcome in. I am Jenna Say What. I talk politics and complain a lot. And I'm also a cosplayer and nerd and various other things. But we've been talking politics a little bit. So hopefully you stay around. If not, totally understandable. But welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, all the raiders. I hope you are having a beautiful day, drinking your water, taking your meds, and eating a healthy snack. Hope your day is going well. But yeah, so we need a better pathway to citizenship, honestly. Period. End of discussion. Like, we need to have people that can, that aren't, like, the raids and shit, this is, like, getting way over the top. Like, this is, Like, this is exactly the way platformed on, and people are starting to realize, like, this is really bad. People are getting hurt. We had an innocent man that got sent to Seacott, and like the most, I don't know if anybody heard this shit, but like the most fucking inhumane shit has ever happened. Like, this dude was essayed in Seacott. So basically, he was overheating, which is not surprising in these concentration camps, basically. Yeah, we need stronger rights for workers. Yeah, they are taking full advantage of our immigrants, and it's just like horrible. You apply for but it's the problem is that it takes like decades. I married an immigrant. I'm now divorced from that man. Not because of any reason of immigrant status or anything like that. No, just shitty person. But you're illegal. Yeah, it just takes forever for people to even remotely get the status. Then on top of that, the amount of money that it costs to get that status. Then on top of that, you have all these hoops that you have to jump through. Yeah, I'm glad that you went through the process. That's fine. But we need to have it easier and more accessible to more people so that they can get out of situations where they need to be over here. Although, fuck, like, we're not a safe place anymore. That's why FIFA has now announced that they might be pulling out of the United States. Bye. Good. You shouldn't be here because we are not a safe place. Because the second that ICE is already threatened to be outside of FIFA whenever people show up to check fucking immigration status. Sorry, but that's fucking terrifying. That's fucking terrifying. That means, like, Wong, even, like, they're looking at anybody and they're like, oh, these aren't close enough. These aren't good enough. Like, that's crazy shit, dude. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. Legal interest, still, yeah, we need to have better immigration policy. We don't. Truth be told, we really, really don't. Even the people that have been here that go through the legal status, it's still not an easy access. It's not even, like, we need to be better, especially with the people that are already here. Like, easier pathway to citizenship, babes. They've already been here. They don't have any kind of, like, most of the people that are being swept up in these raids, they're not bad people. There's a fuckload of children that keep getting swept up. Like, that's crazy. Speculation? No, I got facts, baby. I'm well versed on this shit now. I used to not, am now, babes. Woo! Like, I actually do the fucking research, but, no. I don't give a fuck. I break the law all the time. What the fuck are you talking about? So, no. I am not even worried about people that are already here. Give them, like, at this point, fucking give it to them. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know. Yeah, Shane's right. 70% of immigrants arrested have no criminal record. Yeah, Stephen Miller, ooh, like, every time I see him, I just think of, like, just a wolf howling. He is just, ugh. Laws here, yeah, they are kind of subjective. Yeah, pretty much. We technically stole half, oh yeah, we stole a lot, we stole, like, a lot of land. Like, nobody's free on stolen land, you know? Or no one's illegal on stolen land. No one's free either on this fucking land. Not here, not anymore. Oh, God. That's a crime. That is not a federal crime, by the way. Coming here illegally, not a federal crime. I don't give a fuck. If we're talking about federal crimes, arrest Trump right now. Right now. Put him in jail. Put him in jail because that's where he fucking belongs. He's a 34-count felon, plus he's a sexual assaultist with children, so he can suck my ass. Like, get him out. Get him the fuck out. All the Republicans that are harboring that fugitive, get him the fuck out. Put him in prison. Get him out. Get him out. Put real people in there that actually give a shit about people. I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah. So I'm not worried about anybody coming here illegally. I'm worried about our president and the presidency and all the Republicans that are harboring these fucking fugitives. Like Trump. Like taking Ghislaine Maxwell out of maximum security prison. A registered pedophile. Someone that actually did those acts too. It wasn't just Jeffrey Epstein. She was right there with him, doing the same shit, doing this shit to these children, getting them from Mar-a-Lago. There was a whole trafficking ring. So I have an issue with that. Until that hypocrisy is done, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? At this point, if they're here, you know, let them. Let them. Yeah, it's a civil offense. It's not a criminal offense. Yeah, thank you, Vinny. Yeah, you're right. Let him. Yeah, it's a civil offense. You're right. It's not a federal crime at all. So, but pedophilia, that's bad. That's some bad shit right there. So, that's a crime, but we don't give a fuck. Oh, its stream died again? No! Boo! 85, maybe 80. It's a civil offense. Man, no. Why? Why? There we go. There it goes. And we're back. Yeah, I don't know why my stream lags out. Do I have someone playing? Oh, I might. That might be my fault. Our internet's a little bit shitty, but yeah, like, my thing got weird. But yeah, false equivalency, yeah. Yeah, countries are not human bodies, yeah. I'm not, like, that's the thing is, like, I firmly believe if they're here at this point, like, just give them a pathway to citizenship. If they've done an actual crime, like, aside from coming here illegally, like, aside from that, just fucking give it to them, dudes. We already have, again, we have people out here in Congress and the presidency and various other things that have done a million times worse at this point. So, what makes it sense to ignore some but not others? I don't know. You can ask our Republicans because that's what they're doing all the time. So I'm just playing by their rules, babes. Just playing by those rules. Because it only matters whenever it's the right that doesn't want something. Like, that's how it's becoming. Is if the right doesn't like it, then they will push back and be like, no. Like, but if they're trying to get away with the same thing, they're like, oh, but we're just trying to be right about, like, they're like the hypocrisy. You can't, like, I'm playing by their rules now. So even Reagan gave amnesty to undocumented immigrants. Absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, the thing is, you know, the way that Trump is doing this, it's not the right way. This is not, America's supposed to be a melting pot. We are supposed to have immigrants here. That is how this country has been. Like, nobody is going to be illegal on stolen fucking land. So, you know, for that, I don't, come to me with a worse crime. Come to me with a worse crime. Like pedophilia, Trump. So there. Like, for me, again, if it's a worse crime, I'm more concerned about it. But I've seen people get away with way worse. Shit, the undocumented immigrants, it doesn't matter. Not to me. Wrong person. Like, I'm more concerned about the fact that we have people being sent to El Salvador and to a to a concentration camp in the fucking Everglades where people are applauding people getting eaten by alligators, which, by the way, was a whole ass thing during slave days. And they made merch about it then, too. So it's like, I'm more concerned about a lot of that kind of stuff happening. And then, you know, again, like, Seacott, man got sexually assaulted by 4 guards. He was pulled into it, like, he was overheated, went into a bath to cool off, forgot to tell his friends to look out for guards. The guards found him, took him to a room where there was a tiny hole in the ceiling with almost no air, and 4 men touched him with clubs, putting them between his legs, and 1 man forced him to do oral. So, like, I'm more concerned about those 4 motherfuckers, because you know what those 4 men are probably doing back home? They're probably molesting kids, or molesting, or like sexually assaulting women, or probably have a body buried underneath their house. Either way, check their fucking search history. Those 4, I'm more concerned about those 4, because if you're doing that shit, it means you've done way worse. It means that you've done so much worse. So, I'm not concerned with undocumented immigrants. I'm worried about men like that. Those 4. And what they're doing. And how they probably say that they're straight, and they're very obviously not. Because if they're doing that shit, stop clausing yourself, you motherfuckers. That's why you're acting like that, probably. So, I don't know. Yeah. False equivalency is, yep. It seems like the problem that's right or left. Both sides refuse to hear each other. Chasing, I agree with you to an extent. I think it's hard for people to... I'm always willing, I always say this, I'm always willing to reach across the aisle as long as you are going to meet me with emotional and intellectual honesty. If you're not willing to be honest with me about something that is very blatant, such as if we have a president that, you know, is a felon, he shouldn't be our president. Just like baseline things, if you're like, if you can't even see eye to eye about like a baseline thing, then I'm just like, I can't have this conversation. But if someone's willing to hear me out and have this conversation, I do this with my mom all the time. We don't see eye to eye, but I reach across the aisle to her all the time. It is a, you know, 1% versus the 99%. We are out here struggling. We are out here fighting each other when we should be looking up at them and being like, why the fuck are you guys getting the tax breaks when we're the ones busting our ass? We're the ones working ourselves into an early grave for your fucking company. Why the fuck are we getting ours or our, you know, tax breaks or our incentives? That's the thing, is like, I agree that like it isn't necessarily, again, there's always an asterisk, you know, right versus left, but there's also the issue of like, you know, I get that some of the left can't handle dealing with talking to them anymore. And I get that. You can tap out. Like, I get that there's a lot of left out there that wants to tap out, and I fully embrace that. I understand it. I get it. There are people out there like me that are willing to reach across that aisle for them. That's fine. We can tag team this shit. You know, it is really sad to see like the animosity between the two sides, but whenever you cannot be emotionally or intellectually honest, like the whole Republican side voting for the big beautiful bill, knowing that it was cutting Medicare and Medicaid for our most vulnerable populations, and they told their people, no, it's not going to cut it, it's not going to cut it. Or that one Republican lady going, well, we all die sometime. The fuck? And then her apology video, she does it in a cemetery? That's emotional and mental like, that's being emotionally and intellectually dishonest. I can't handle that. That's something that I'm not going to deal with because I can't have a conversation with you. We can't break down those barriers. If I'm wrong about something, I will fess up to it. I will admit it. I'll be fine with it. That's cool. I'm good with taking the fat L. I can hold it. I can deal. But whenever you can't hold that fat L and admit that you're wrong, whenever it's so glaringly obvious that you are, that's a problem. That's a huge issue. I don't think that it was Obama, but I could be, Hi, Leia. How are you doing? Don't know. Yeah, Obama did deport people more than Trump, at least as of a few months ago. I would not be surprised if that number is skyrocketed. I'm not sure if Trump or if Obama did the cages, because if memory serves me correctly, it was Trump that did the cages his first term. But I don't have that information in front of me, so I could be wrong. And I'm okay with if I'm wrong. Yeah, I know that Obama was awful on immigration, so I will give you that. And truth be told, you're telling the wrong person, trying to make me feel bad about voting for Obama, because this one might have not. So I'm speaking from, my experience of being an ex-conservative. I hate that I said that on the internet, but yeah. So if you're trying to get me against him, nope. But yeah, you got Jada Toy. Oh, nice. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. So wouldn't it be better to stop the right left group bollocks? God, saying bollocks in an American accent is the fucking worst. It's the one word that you guys have that I really wish that Americans could use and it not sound like absolute hot garbage. But whenever British people say bollocks, I'm like, yes! Sorry. Sidebarred on that one. Yeah, I really wish that it wasn't a, you had... Wanker. Yeah, wanker's also a good one, too. But yeah, I wish that it wasn't a right and left situation, but we are in this in this dichotomy that I don't think that we're ever going to be able to resurface from, as far as it goes with left versus right thing. I think that that's so heavily ingrained into American politics. I don't know if we will ever see the end of that in our lifetime. So I've kind of given up on the idea, even, because I don't think that will come to fruition, at least in our lifetime. If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think that it's going to be the thing. Yeah, and that's also another thing is, you can't just have someone run. There's all this stuff around it. I literally said if I was if something around here was going unchecked, I was gonna run against them despite being an SW and that coming up in conversation. I didn't give a fuck about that. I was just I could run, and then I read all and I was like, fuck, I don't have any of this. This isn't it's impossible for a random person to just run. It's crazy. Assume Mark Cuban will run at some point, who is more of a centrist view. Yeah, and would do okay with the economy. Yeah, I could, yeah. I don't know Mark Cuban's policies a whole lot. I do know of him and a little bit of his stuff, so, I'd be interested to look at that and see how that plays out. I think that at this point, we're gonna have to fight more to get people back into the center, because I think that everybody is kind of split so far in the other directions that nothing is going to get done that we need done. We need all these different things, and I worry that there's not enough. Ban all donations. Wait, so I think that it needs to be banning donations from like businesses or churches. I think it needs to come directly from the people that are living in those areas, like me giving money to like my mayor, sort of thing, like something like that. Give a manifesto based on the yeah. Yeah, they tried to have like a thing, so. Oh, hi baby. Keep talking in my chat. You help me boost. So no money at all. Yeah. So no money game at all. Maybe, but like I definitely think that being like big donors, like, you know, your big packed groups giving money, I think that that's probably not the way to go. Because doing that creates loyalty within businesses. That's why you have big oil, we have coal coming back, which I've said on streams before that, I was in wrestling in high school. One of my friends that wrestled with us, he was not my weight class, but he was one of my friends. After high school, he was working in the coal mine and had the worst fucking accident that could have possibly happened. And he died a absolutely tragic death in the coal mines. And I have big issue with that because I grew up in coal mine town, and knowing what happens down there and being down there, I've been down there, albeit like, you know, in the nicer areas for like showing what people went through. But knowing what happened to my friend, I'm just like, I would love to see more sustainable things come our way. That way we don't see that level of death, because I cannot stress this enough. Like I get a little cracked up, like, because of how bad it was. I don't want to see anybody or hear about anybody dying like that ever. So I think that we need to have better sustainable types of things. And the problem is that these companies give this donation money to these people, and then they have a loyalty to them. So now, you know, these people are voting for, yes, we should have coal. Yes, we should have big oil, and we should not worry about sustainable fuel sources. That's going against what we need to be doing, because we're running out of fuel like that. There's not an unlimited amount of coal and petroleum. We just don't have that. That's not something that's going to happen. A lot of the countries overseas are looking to wind power and solar power, and we've cut all of those tax incentives for that. That's gone. It's gone. So how are we supposed to like push forward for a cleaner and better world? And that should be apolitical. We should all deserve clean air, clean drinking water, and an earth that's not trying to kill us because we're trying to kill it. You know what I mean? It should be an apolitical thing, but it's become such a political thing because of these big businesses giving this money to our congressmen and whoever. Like that's where the issue is that we're not moving forward. We're not progressing because the lobbyist, because we're being, you know, this person's being lobbied by big coal or big, you know, big pharma or big whatever. And it hurts all of us. It hurts every single one of us. You know? And it shouldn't be a political issue. Oh man, that dude, he came prepared to be hefty and big. Couldn't find a bigger bull ring, Lefty. And I told him, keep talking. And he didn't. There goes my bait. Damn it. Because if I get a bunch of them in here and they like try to troll me, I'm just gonna allow it. Because I'll probably make partner at that point. and that's what I won't. I'll be stressed out to the max, but I'll just hit my anxiety pin and I'll be all right. Pop open a beer, chill, let it scroll, and I'll be like, and I will finally make partner. I'm horrible. Definitely need a limit on donations for sure. Yeah. I hate that we're not getting, and this goes like across the globe. Like, representation matters. It doesn't matter who you are. Like, you deserve that representation. Like, whatever you consist of, LGBT, non, a farmer, a person of color, like everybody deserves some sort of representation. I don't care. It needs to happen. And we don't get that because we have people in power that are making exorbitant amounts of money while their population starves. That's fucked. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be the case. We shouldn't all have to struggle and to wonder when the fuck if we're going to be able to make our rent that month, or if we're going to be kicked out of our house, or, that we've been working all of our lives and we still don't have anything to show for it. Like, we shouldn't have to deal with this. It is a us versus them thing, not a right versus left. It is absolutely, it's a 99% versus the 1%. Like, I see people working nonstop, not able to take a day off work just to provide for their small family. And they're not living above their means. They're struggling. And so seeing that all the time in you and me and my friends and my family and the people that I see at the grocery store, the people that I barely know at conventions, and I hear about their struggles too. Like, I don't like to see that. I don't want to see that. I want to see us all thrive. I want to see us all succeed and do the right things and do the best that we can to provide for the people that we love and provide for ourselves. And the fact that we don't even just have that, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. And we aren't supposed to be pointing fingers at each other. We need to be pointing up and be like, what the fuck? That's just worldwide, in my opinion. That's just worldwide. Like, yeah. Remove the hell. Man, yeah. We really do, though. If you want to be a politician, it is a red flag. Absolutely. I think right now it might be a little different because there are people out there like me that are like, I want to do something. I feel like I need to do something more than what I've been doing because there's too much suffering. I'm seeing too many friends of mine getting laid off, myself included. I'm seeing too many of my friends trying to get housing that can't because they either have a job that barely pays them or they're trying to get a job and no one's hiring because of, as I've said before, I know Takast, I had said it before in a previous stream with you that you send in your resume and then the AI checks for it, and then if it doesn't pass, it doesn't pass. I have a friend that is a project manager, and him and I had a long conversation because I told him, I have certifications to be a project manager. I don't have college, but I have those certifications. And he's like, yeah, I don't understand why you wouldn't have been hired. And I told him, I was like, at that present moment, I had sent out, I think, at least 20 applications every few days, Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, I just said I need to take a moment for myself because I was getting very discouraged because I wasn't getting anything back. I was getting nothing. And even I know that I said this before. I got one job opportunity and it ended up being a scam. And I was terrified because I was like the little bit of amount of money that I have in my account, because what they did is like they sent me a check, because they were like, oh, so here are the, I got hired. I did all my fucking paperwork. So I don't even remember what all I put on my paperwork. I don't think that I put my social security number on there, but they had everything else, because I had an actual interview. Like it was for a remote job, and I've done remote job interviews. And so we did it on the screen. We did all this. I like, they had everything of mine. And it was a scam. And so as I'm trying to cash this check so I can buy, because they were like, hey, it's just easier for us to not even send you the stuff because like postage, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, understandable. They were like, so we give you a amount and where you need to purchase these items from. Seemed legit. They give me a check. The check comes in the mail. Then I go to cash the check. They take the check. Then it comes back and they call me and they're like, hey, this check bounced. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And so I try to call the company again, and all of a sudden, nothing. I email, nothing. And then I search them up online and I find this other number and I call them, and it's like a local business here. And they were like, oh my God, another one of these calls. And I was horrified. And I called my bank and I was like, they have all my information. What do I do? And they were like, this is what you do. I asked them, I was like, do they have access to my account since I tried to cash this check? And they were like, no, that wouldn't be possible, but they still have like all of my info. So like that shit is happening more and more. And then on like Facebook Marketplace and like a few other housing places like rent.com or whatever, like a few of those also have scams. One of the houses, it was like a small house that I was trying to rent. They had me like, do this and that. And they were asking me to put it down like a deposit to go see it. And I was like, no, that I've never heard of that. And so like, thank God I fucking asked my friends about it. Thank fucking God, because I had already had that issue happen with the job search. And come to find out, it was a scam. And I was like, holy shit, dude. So, and then like, not for nothing, a lot of big companies are buying up houses to rent out to people. And it's just like insane. Thank you, Venom. I am. Thank you. I'll try. Thank you. But yeah, like, they're like, how in the fuck are you supposed to know what's real and what's not anymore? I went on a job interview and it like nailed it out of the ballpark, by the way. Because my friend was, again, the only reason I got the interview was because I have a friend that worked for the company. That company has since went under. Thank God I didn't get that job, I guess. But I nailed the job out of the ballpark, and he's like, they're going to call you. He's like, they're talking just how you would not only just fit in as an employee, but you would fit in personality wise. He's like, you nailed it. And I was like, yeah. And they called me back and they were like, so the person that we were giving that you would be taking their position, they've decided to just stay with us. And I'm going to be honest, like, whenever I went into that job, I was so stoked because it looked like and I would have been doing project management. That would have been my first, or my second official project management job, but, like, my first one with a pay company. The other one, it was for a nonprofit. But, yeah, like, I literally... like, I walked in that place and dudes, I was like, this would be a fucking rad office to work in. I could handle this. I could handle this. And so it was very heartbreaking, honestly. And then I'd be able to work with one of my best guy friends who, him and I worked both with the nonprofit, and then we also worked for a princess company where both him and I did princess, like we would go to the Ronald McDonald House, and I would do Black Widow, and he did Cap. He looked exactly like Captain America. And we would go there, and him and I, like, really bonded over, like, quite a few characters, but specifically those two. And I was like, sweet, I get to work with Cap, and he gets his Black Widow. Like, we get to be besties in the, you know, inside and outside of work. This is great. And then didn't get it. So, like, there's quite a lot of things out here that are just absolutely wrong. It's wrong. And I hate that we live in this society where we have to struggle like this. And we have to bust our ass and work ourselves into our early graves while the 1% sit atop their fucking yachts having their fucking foam parties. Bezos, you little shitbag. None of us should have to struggle as hard as we are. Because we do deserve to have what we work our asses off for. That's just me. I just like equality. And I like not having to, like, feel that, you know, we have to work until our bones break and our bodies wither and die on the, you know, floor of our office. Like, we shouldn't have to have that. Like, I get a good work ethic. I do. I have a great work ethic. You can't tell me otherwise. I've busted my ass my entire fucking, like, since I was 16 years old. And working as a telemarketer, which should explain kind of a little bit. As to why I'm a little trolly sometimes. But, like, I worked. I bought my first car myself. I lived out of a car for a while because I was unhoused. I know what it feels like to have to struggle and live in a car hoping to God that you can find something, and then having that car inevitably taken by your ex-stepdad, who is a big piece of shit. But that's a story for a later day. But yeah, like, I feel like we shouldn't have to struggle this hard while our counterparts sit on their throne working like an hour a day and getting these lavish luxuries that none of us would ever even dream of, because we could never. Like, we see those boats or those huge ass yachts and shit, and that's beyond anything that we could ever even dream of boarding, let alone like getting to be on and just enjoy your day for one day. I don't know. It's just crazy. We shouldn't have to deal with this level of separation between the rich and the poor. Shouldn't have to have that. My 2 cents. Anyways, I'm gonna jump off here. I'm gonna go sing, because it's one of the few pleasures in life where it doesn't cost too much to go to. I don't have to get a seltzer, but I'm gonna get a seltzer because I desperately need it, because we live in hell. Anyways, I will be on tomorrow. Oh, hey, teardrops. I'm jumping off here. I'm gonna go sing. But yeah, I'm gonna go to karaoke. I will be on tomorrow. I know. Thank you for jumping on, though, girl. Thank you. I always know I can count on you. God damn. But yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna go to karaoke. I will see you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time, as per usual, with probably more news. Oh, I didn't talk about GalaxyCon bullshit. Shit. We'll talk about that shit tomorrow. I've heard some rumors. So we'll do cosplay news a little bit tomorrow. Teardrops, I'll wait until you get on. Before that, DM you. Oh, do you have news for it? I'll message you. I'll be like, tell me everything. I would like to talk about the outside politics, but also the cosplay politics. That's always fun. The little thing. Oh, I love it. Oh, you know some stuff. Oh, I want to know everything. All right. I will, like I said, I'll be on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time talking about that and politics and various other things. If you want to follow me on my other social platforms, please do. Links are chasing. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a great Monday, not a Sunday, but a Monday. I hate myself. If you unfollow me because of that, I don't blame you, honestly. It was a terrible joke. But anyways, I'll be on tomorrow. Follow my links, jennasaywhat.com/links. If you can, give me a follow over on Instagram. I've been at 10.9K for like 7 years and I'm losing my mind. So I would really love to see that number different because I'm losing it. Anyways, I love you guys. I will talk to you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Be safe, everybody. Drink your water. Fuck ice. And be kind to each other. Anyways, bye.